Hey people! It's Gwen, obviously. So today, I'm going to be ranting about an event that recently happened. As you all know, in case you've been living under a rock, the Super Bowl was last week. And it was a pretty interesting one. Yeah, so let's just say if you were a Broncos fan, well, you've had better games. Seriously though, I feel like everyone was rooting for Denver instead of Seattle. Ironic, isn't it? Honestly, most girls were just cheering for the Broncos because their symbol is a horse, not a bird. Apparently some guy bet $10 million on the Broncos that they'd win. That's probably going to be his lifetime regret. So why did Seattle crush Denver? Well, the first play says it all. The first play of the game after the Broncos' punt return was when Peyton Manning, the guy who everyone thought could win it, misses the snap, and it flies behind him into the end zone. It was almost a touchdown, but he picked it up, making it only a safety. Still, not a good start for their team, and it pretty much went downhill for them for the rest of the game. I have to admit, it was a fun game to watch if you were a Seahawks fan like me. Now, can we just talk about that halftime show? That halftime show was probably one of the best halftime shows I've ever seen for the Super Bowl. And it wasn't because of all the lights and special effects, although they do set the mood. But it was because of one singing and dancing god. Mr. Bruno Mars. He literally looked like the new Michael Jackson up there. I mean, Justin Timberlake should be jealous, because Bruno was quite the performer. So, I'm watching this awesome halftime show, the game is half over, the Seahawks are up by 29, life is good, when all of a sudden, some 40-year-old guy with no shirt comes out on stage with a microphone and practically steals Bruno's spotlight. I was mad. Now, the Red Hot Chili Peppers were a great band in their day. Key words. Their day. It's not their day anymore. It's Bruno's day. I don't know whose idea it was to have them perform, but it was a stupid mistake. Most kids don't even know who these guys are. And like I said before, it was Bruno's time to shine. Now, granted, he did get tons of stage time, and him singing Just the Way You Are at the end was gorgeous. So I will give the producers some points for that. Now, most Super Bowls are obviously known for their commercials. Honestly, the commercials weren't as good as they could have been this year. I enjoyed them, but I've seen some funnier ones in the past. I feel like most of them catered to adults instead of children, which is cool, except that most teenagers didn't find them funny. But I'd have to say that the funniest commercials this year was the M&M ones. Those are always so funny. I guess because society likes to see talking chocolate. I don't know. The Dober Wah Wah was hilarious. Who knew that mixing a Doberman and a Chihuahua would make such a funny combination? It was a bit disturbing to look at, but mostly funny. The Doritos commercials were funny last year and were definitely funny this year too. Like the Time Machine one, that was such a classic Super Bowl commercial. Okay, the one with the guy in the truck with the cows following him was actually pretty entertaining. It was so weird that it was funny. Alright, well, that's the end of my rant about Super Bowl 2014. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up down below. Overall, I enjoyed the Super Bowl this year. The game itself was a little crazy, but it's just a game, and I think that everyone had fun for the most part. Comment down below and tell me who you were rooting for in the Super Bowl. Denver Broncos or the Seattle Seahawks? Thanks everyone. See you in my next video. Oh, and before I go, be sure to check out my Instagram and Twitter. Links will be in the down bar. My username is Gwen Goose for both of them. If you be sure to follow me on Instagram, you can see tons of pictures I upload. So my Instagram hasn't been working lately because of my phone, so there won't be any new pictures up for a while. But in March, there will definitely be more once I get a new phone. Now my Twitter works just fine, so be sure to follow. I will be tweeting about upcoming videos and when I will be filming. I also post pictures on there, so even if my Instagram isn't working, you can still see some photos on my Twitter. Thanks, guys!